Outpatient medical practices follow 4 predictable stages. Most doctors that I know feel stuck in one of those phases. And no matter what they do, no matter how much they push, how much more effort they add to the equation, they feel they cannot move on. So in this video, what I want to do, I want to guide you through those 4 stages. You'll be able to identify yourself where you are and what to do to take your practice to the next level. Hey, my name is Dr. Bart Kaczmarek. I'm a family doctor in Windsor, Ontario. I run a high volume, high efficiency, low effort family practice, and I've built it from scratch. And throughout my journey, I've identified phases as I was going through them, and I want to share with you what I learned. So the 4 stages as I experience them are stage 1. This is the stage I would call build. So this is the stage where you're starting, you're full of enthusiasm, you're moving on, you just can't wait to grow. You probably work with 0 to 1 secretary. Sometimes there's a shared one, right? 0 to 0.5 to maybe 1 secretary. Then you have about, say, 10, maybe 15 patients per day, right? You will be, this stage lasts up to maybe like a 0 to 800 patients, right, total. And you're probably billing about like 100,000 around, right? Maybe a little more. And here your effort pattern is just you doing the work. And your pain would be that you can't wait to move on. You can't wait to get to the phase where your colleagues are, when they have full practices, where they feel more comfortable, where they can afford more, where their billings are higher. Now, the mistake here is to switch too early to a work pattern where you delegate, where you're the boss, where you organize your work through other people. That's a mistake because that is a little too early. In this phase, you are just building momentum. You don't build systems quite yet. Momentum. Okay, now we're going to stage 2. And stage 2 is the moment where you kind of exceed the previous threshold and you find yourself using the same amount of work, the same style of work, the same amount of effort into higher volumes of patients, and you use the same familiar work style from the previous phase. And you probably right now have like a solid 1 secretary. You probably see about, let's say, like a 20 to 30 patients per day, right? Then your patients amount is probably around from 800 to maybe like a 1600 or so. That's all around. And you start to make about maybe like a 200 to 400K a year, right? That's kind of where you are. And your effort pattern is doing everything on your own. You see the patients on your own, you take the blood pressures, you kind of refill all the prescriptions. And your biggest pain right here is the fact that you are doing more and more effort with less and less return. This is the spot where your leverage is really low despite this incredible effort, right? And you keep on pushing, you realize that you start to get exhausted from it. You start to realize that this is the stage where you really wanted to get from the previous stage, wanting to be like your colleagues. Now you are like your colleagues, but you realize that this is all just huge effort and very little benefit. And this is where you saw yourself from the beginning. The whole thing is just too hard to scale down because you can't afford it, right? And if you want to scale up, then you're facing this difficulty, like, how am I going to do this? I'm already at the maximum of what my capacity is. Now, just because that pain you feel from working super hard and getting very little things in return, this is the stage that I call the swamp. Because not only the effort you're doing, but you feel stuck. You feel completely trapped without seeing any perspective for improvement. And a lot of doctors I know are stuck right there. They go into this stage thinking this is the end. And that is the mistake I want to help you understand and give you perspective that there is a step beyond that. Another mistake that's being made here is that hiring people to help you is going to be your cost, and it's going to subtract from your revenue, subtract from your well-being, cause you more stress, more anxiety, and basically be a harmful thing for you. That's the thing I want to dismantle here for sure. So the swamp is the place that is not the end, it's just a one point of your journey where your leverage point is the lowest. Okay, now let's go to stage 3. So let's summarize the stage 2 here. So this is the swamp, and this is going to be not the end. And stage 3 is leverage. So leverage is the stage where you realize that you have to make a change to what you've done before in stage 2. You've grown to understand that hiring staff actually helps you. And you have experienced firsthand how hiring one person takes away the load from your back and how much more you can do in that free space. You can choose to leave home earlier, right? Pay this person whatever the salary was, not make any money on it, but have so much time for yourself. If this was your goal, you can choose to fill the efficiency gaps, this uncovered capacity right now that's visible to you, and you can start seeing more patients and pay for this hired staff and make some money on top of it and have an easier life, right? So it is up to you what you would like to do with this newly discovered potential. So this is the spot where you have actually about 50 plus, maybe even 70 plus patients per day, right? This is what you do. You're going to see probably thousands, 3,000 plus patients rostered to you. And in this phase, I believe that the proportion ratio of your hires is about 1 secretary plus 1 nurse per roughly maybe 1,500 patients. That's kind of, I think the proportion is maybe 1,200 patients or so. And the income part here, as I experience, you're going to reveal this potential for yourself, and it's going to be actually not just a little more, it's going to be 1 million plus, right? You can be 2 million plus if you organize yourself super well. So this is the stage where you suddenly jump your mindset from working on your own to delegating to other people and seeing this amazing capacity that you just discovered for yourself. Now, the pain with this stage is this effort to redesign, this mindset change where you have to start looking at everything differently. That whatever other doctors are doing, you're probably going to do a little different, and you have to be comfortable with that. You have to be looking for opportunities to give other people more work of yourself so you don't have to do things. I often catch myself thinking, this is just one blood pressure check, why don't I do this myself? It's going to be 15 seconds of my time. But then I catch myself and think, this is exactly why I have my staff, so I can leave this room 15 seconds earlier, and I'm going to think of what else can I leave for them while I move on. Another kind of pain of this stage is the team management. Without managing a team and being a team leader here, things will not work for you. It is not about just hiring bodies. It's about creating a team that actually you can trust, that you teach them to do anything you want them to do for you. And we do this in residency, right? We have junior residents that are below us, and we use the rule, do one, show one, teach one. And this is exactly the way to delegate your work, to teach appropriate staff how to help you. So if you look at this, what actually changed between those two stages, right? How come this is one secretary and another hire will make you from like 30 patients per day to 70 or 100 patients per day. What is going to make me between $400,000 to 1 million or 2 million plus? The answer is actually leverage. The answer is freeing your time to just do the doctor's work, to be working on the top level of your potential, of your skill set, to not touch anything that you can delegate, to develop a mindset that you're going to realize it frees up so much of your time and capacity that this is what allows us to make such a difference in patients per hour, such a difference in income, and such a difference in work satisfaction. This is the phase where you don't take work home, you don't work on the weekends, you don't chart on the holidays, just because of leverage. So stage 3 leverage is this spot where all your past investment in systems and delegation are finally paying you back. Payback. Stage 4. This is scaling. Stage 4 is when you've mastered how to organize your work. You have developed a team that trusts you. There is something to be changed about the clinic and you tell it to say it to one of your secretaries and she is taking care of it. And she only tells you when there's problems. Otherwise, she takes care of things. And you realize that some colleagues may actually call you and being curious about how you work. Are you organizing yourself so well? How come you're at home so early? How come you're not working as long as them? And this is the moment where you realize you've got this. You've mastered this setup and organization of your medical office. And if you wanted to, you are ready to scale. And this would mean that you can have other doctors as associates working along you. At this point, you're going to have just unlimited secretaries, right? Unlimited staff. You are seeing that same amount of people as in this phase, but then you also have other doctors' numbers, right? And you are charging the doctors a split income percentage, and you are actually start to make money on the system that you developed earlier. And this also means that all the income you had before will be added to the new income, the income that came from organizing work for others. So your effort pattern in stage 4 is more like an oversight and design than your personal effort. And the pain is to assess good proportions, how many staff to hire when you're working with this many doctors, the proportion of scaling. And the typical mistake in stage 4 here is assuming that the physicians who would want to work along you as associates are going to have the same mindset and understand efficiency the same way as you do. Now, stage 4, this is the stage where this is all business. Because once your systems work, your growth can be scaled and you are running a business. Now, why did I create this stage system in my mind? Why am I thinking of it this way? I think of it this way because each of the stages is different by the amount of effort you put in there. So if I was to draw amount of effort here, that would probably look like this. Effort, stage 2 swamp. This is where effort is peak. And actually where doctors want to change their jobs, want to quit, want to retire early. And while you're able to transition to this mindset of leverage, of having other people help you and make you feel better, your effort suddenly drops. This is how I see this. And if you're able to move to stage 4, then the effort also, not only your team is helping you, but now you're leveraged by other doctors that kind of work along you, and that personal effort drops even farther. Maybe it doesn't go to 0, but it's definitely less. Now, to me, all those stages seem very predictable. And the stage where most people think they belong is predictable too. And it's not you failing. It's not lack of your effort while you find yourself stuck in stage 2. This is exactly why I call it the swamp. It is just most of the time, I believe lack of awareness that there's a better way to do this, that your practice can transition to higher leverage and lower effort. So if those stages of outpatient medical office growth make sense, if you identify yourself being in any of them, and moreover, if you feel stuck in one of them and you would like to chat with me, please comment below. I'd love to respond to that. And if you want more content on medical office efficiency, subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting every week. And thanks for watching.